basically.
What's next for this team?
Just gotta build some chemistry. Gotta get smarter. We pieced up a team together. We were close. Denver's great. We shot ourselves in the foot the last 3 games. The last 3 games were pretty much a mirror. Us coming in and not able to score the ball in the third or the fourth quarter. And tonight was just a mirror of it.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Eli5 back with you guys with another video, and I'm making this video to address something that happened last night. Obviously, you guys know the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets played Game 7 last night, and it resulted to the Los Angeles Clippers actually losing to the underdog Denver Nuggets. Everybody expected the Los Angeles Clippers to at least make the conference finals, if not win a championship, but this is actually their second time blowing a 3-1 lead in their history of being in the league. Now, as you may know, they blew a 3-1 lead back in 2015 to the Houston Rockets, and now they're back at it again, blowing a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets in the second round this year. So what does that say? They have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, Lou Williams. That Clippers team is looking very talented. I feel like if you look on paper, that Clippers roster is talented enough to make an NBA Finals and possibly win a championship. So what could have went wrong? Now, before I get to anything more about the Clippers, I want to shout out the Denver Nuggets for pushing through all the odds. I'm not gonna lie, before the playoffs started, I didn't really see the Denver Nuggets making it this far. I feel like because they're young, they have a bunch of young talent on the team, they have a lack of experience, a lot of players that haven't been this far on that team. I really thought that the Nuggets weren't gonna do anything. I really thought they weren't gonna make that far, but God, they proved me wrong. They came back down 3-1 in 2 series in a row. The Utah Jazz in the first round, and now the Los Angeles Clippers. And despite them coming back down 3-1, they actually made history. The Denver Nuggets are the first team in NBA history to come back down 3-1 in a single playoff series. Shout out to Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and everybody else on the Denver Nuggets for making history. You deserve to be where you're at right now. You're in the Western Conference Finals, about to play the Lakers, and upsetting the so-called contender Clippers that was supposed to so-called be in the Western Conference Finals and possibly win a championship. Shout out Denver Nuggets, you're doing really good. But the main topic of the day that really needs to be addressed is what happened to the Los Angeles Clippers. They were projected by a lot of NBA analysts to make a lot of noise in the playoffs, but instead they fell short in the second round. Does Doc Rivers need to be fired? Do players need to be switched around? Like I said already, I feel as though that the Clippers have a pretty deep roster. They have a lot of talent, and I feel like it's a good enough roster to win a championship. But the main thing I've been thinking about for this team is the lack of chemistry. In my opinion, I feel like this team didn't meet the chemistry expectations in order to make it further in the playoffs. Now, during this whole NBA season, there were an excessive amount of times where players on the Los Angeles Clippers sat out games consistently and inconsistently due to load management and injury. And speaking of load management, Kawhi Leonard is known for sitting out of NBA games due to load management and resting to get ready for the playoffs. And Paul George, he sat out the first few weeks due to a shoulder surgery, and he continued to sit out some other games during the season as the season went on due to more injury issues. And Patrick Beverley, he sat out a lot of games due to injury issues as well. And the list keeps going on and on and on with this roster sitting out games. And if you put logic into the conversation, if you don't play as a team for a certain amount of games, obviously the chemistry is going to be off. If you're not playing as a full healthy squad for a certain amount of games, you're not gonna be able to play together as a team consistently because you're not playing on the court together at all times. And that is very essential to keep the chemistry intact. And I feel as though during the whole season, the Clippers didn't really have that chemistry that they were looking for in order to make it far in the postseason. Now, if you really think about it, it doesn't really matter who you have on your team if there's a lack of chemistry, if there's a lot of chemistry issues involved with that team. Like, let me give you an example. If you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Curry, all those other stars on your team, or any stars, whatever you could pick, but any type of stars on your team, if the chemistry is not right, the team is not going to make it far, or it's really not going to be a successful season for the team, because without chemistry, they're not going to be able to play together as a team. And the NBA basketball basketball in general, it's a team sport. It doesn't matter who you have on your roster. It's if you're able to play as a team at an effective rate at all times in order to get that championship. And like I already said, the Clippers, they had some big talented players on that team, but the chemistry, I feel like the lack of chemistry really bit them in the butt during the whole season, sitting out a lot of games. Now, I'm not trying to make any excuses for the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers have no excuse as to why they lost. They were up 3-1. If you're up 3-1, you should be able to win that series. Like, there's no excuse. You can't make any excuse if you're up 3-1 and you end up losing the series. The Clippers, they were playing good as the series started out, but they ended out in the flop, and now they're going home. But I guess there's always next season. They got to put in that work in the off season, probably get some more players during the off season. Who knows? The Clippers may be back next year, but there's no guarantees. As you already know, the NBA is a very unpredictable sport. You really are not gonna know who's gonna win, because as you can already see, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Clippers, they were all predicted to make it far in the playoffs, and probably 2 out of the 3 teams to probably make the NBA Finals. And obviously all 3 of those teams are sitting out at home, and they got sent home by the teams that they lost to. So I really can't say what the Clippers are gonna do next season, because it's really hard to tell. You just gotta wait till next season to see what they're gonna do. If you look at NBA history, Doc Rivers has been a coach for the NBA for a very long time. He's been a coach since like the 2000s, 2003, somewhere along the guidelines like that. It doesn't matter. He's been coaching for a very long time. You guys get that. But during the times he's coached, he's been a part of 3 times during 3 playoff series where he blew a 3-1 lead as he was coaching. So what does that say about Doc Rivers? Do you guys think Doc Rivers should get fired or be in a hot seat for the Clippers? Or do you guys think Doc Rivers deserves another chance? Because if Doc Rivers has been coaching teams for that long, and a part of the times he was coaching, he's been a part of 3 playoff series that they blew a 3-1 lead to, what does that say? What do you guys think? Doc Rivers, in my opinion, he's a pretty good coach, but I just want to hear your guys' opinion. Drop in the comments, see what you guys think. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. But other than that, I really have nothing else to say about the Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers, they blew a 3-1 lead, and they had lack of chemistry in my opinion. There's really nothing else to say. Everything that I said is pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm saying at this point. So all we gotta do is wait till next season, see what the Clippers are gonna do, and see if the Clippers are gonna actually do something in the playoffs rather than lose in the second round. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys leave a like to this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll greatly appreciate it. I'm out. Peace.